Hello and welcome to another Mr. Carter Science Special. In this video we'll be looking at using plant hormones. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you've been enjoying these videos, and comment below to let me know what you've been learning. Plants use hormones in a similar way to animals. Hormones in plants are chemicals that are secreted by tissues, and they're used to stimulate a response in tissues located in other parts of the plant. That might be a tissue only a few millimeters away, or it might be a tissue a number of centimeters or even perhaps meters away. The three most common plant hormones are auxin, gibberellins and ethenes. The first hormone we're going to look at are the gibberellins. Gibberellins are hormones released by seeds to initiate seed germination. As you can see in the diagram down here, the seeds will always contain an embryo here made up of a pumule and a radicle. The radicle is going to form a root and the pumule will form a shoot when the seed germinates. But there's also a store of starch in the cotyledon. Gibberellins will trigger the breakdown of starch into maltose and glucose. These sugars can then be used by the embryo cells in respiration to release energy. The energy is then used for the embryo to grow and develop, and this is known as germination. So gibberellins are an incredibly important plant hormone to allow seeds to germinate. This can be carried out both artificially and naturally. So gibberellins have a number of uses in agriculture and in industry. Gibberellins are used in the brewing industry to end seed dormancy, and this speeds up the germination of barley seeds, which are used to make malt. Gibberellins are also used to promote flowering throughout the year, especially in plot plants such as chrysanthemums and pelargoniums. Gibberellins are also used to increase the size of fruit. For example, in seeded grapes, gibberellins produced by the seed stimulate fruit, the grapes, to grow. In seedless grapes, gibberellins are artificially sprayed onto the crop to increase the size of the seedless grapes. The second plant hormone we're going to look at are the ethenes. Ethenes are plant hormones used to control the ripening of fruit. Farmers can harvest fruit before it's ripe, and that means it will have a longer storage and shelf life. Unripe fruit is also easier to transport as it gets damaged less easily. The unripe fruit is then stored until it's needed, and then when it's removed from fridges for warmer temperatures, and added ethenes means that the fruit will rapidly ripen whilst it's on sale. So this is a very useful hormone to be used within the food processing and supermarket industry, to make certain that we have higher yields in the crops that we are producing and that there is less wastage. Again, a very important thing when you consider the increasing human population on this planet. The final plant hormone that we're going to look at in this video are the auxins. You may have come across auxins when studying phototropism and geotropism, which are a plant's growth responses to a stimuli. I'll put a link down below for my video on that topic. In this video, we're going to be looking at the uses of auxins, in particular on this slide, taking cuttings. Auxins are often used when a gardener or a horticulturalist needs to take a cutting. Cuttings are used when you want to produce a crop of genetically identical plants, clones. A section of a plant stem is removed and planted in a specially prepared soil. To speed up the formation of roots on this particular part of the stem, so there, the cutting may first be placed in a rooting powder containing auxin. Now auxin will help to stimulate the cells in the stem to undifferentiate, redifferentiate and grow into new different specialized cells, root cells and root hair cells. Using auxin increases the success of this process. It's not necessary, but it will increase the success because auxin will stimulate the growth of new root hair cells and new root cells and help new tissue to grow. Taking cuttings is a form of asexual reproduction. Cuttings are clones of the parent plant because they are genetically identical. Auxins can also be used as weed killers. Auxins can be sprayed onto the leaves of a weed, and the auxins are absorbed into the plant and they stimulate the weed to grow rapidly and uncontrollably, and then the weed, having completed its life cycle, will die. Most crop plants like wheat have narrow leaves, and most weed crops like the dandelion that you can see here have broad leaves. The wider the leaves, the more auxin that they will absorb. So the weeds will absorb more auxin and be more affected than the crop leaves. This type of weed killer is known as a selective herbicide. Using weed killers will reduce competition from weeds for resources like light and minerals and water. So there's less competition from weeds with the crop plant, and therefore the crop plants will be able to grow better and provide a higher yield to the farmer, which again will provide more food to this ever-growing human population on Earth. I hope you've enjoyed watching this short video on using plant hormones. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below to let me know what you've learned. Thank you for watching.